Have you checked the children? You're a little mad sometimes.
Hi, I'm Chucky. Wanna play?
Sometimes that is better.
You're gonna need a bigger boat.
Hey everyone, welcome back to the Horror Show. I'm Cecil Laird.
I'm Susie Slaughter.
And we are here to do another patron-requested review, and this time we're doing one from one of our Boogie Box people, Ms. Marie. And she requested one that I had never heard of, that Susie was the first one to watch, because it's actually a recent request by Ms. Marie, and it's called Exhibit A. And so it's on our list, and Susie just checked the list and watched a couple movies.
I tried to just go down the list.
Yeah, she goes down the list, and so she's like, I watched this movie and Exhibit A, which really disturbed me. And
It was really disturbed, yeah.
I was like, really? Okay, which one should I watch amongst those two? She's like, watch Exhibit A. And so I sat down and I'm watching the movie, and I'm a big found footage guy. Like, if you're gonna tell me to watch a movie, you know, or if you're gonna tell someone to watch a found footage movie, usually I'm the audience for that. Mm-hmm. And here's what I'm gonna say about this movie. My overall thoughts are, this movie was highly effective in what it was trying to do, even though it wasn't the best done found footage movie. Like, it's a messy found footage movie for sure, but I definitely agree with you. Possibly so. Okay. No, you're right. You're right. At this point, found footage has become sort of a neatly catered subgenre by the big studios at this point. So I do understand what you're saying. Yeah, the fact that it's not a perfect found footage movie does make it feel more real and raw.
Yeah.
So I guess that you know what, you're right. You're turning me around a little bit.
I know.
But it's only because of that rawness is what really disturbs you about this movie. The fact that it's so
really
upfront and where, like, you see, you're like, wait, this movie isn't going to go here, right? About half hour into it, you're like, they're not going to do this, are they? And then everything just spirals and gets worse. And like, you see there's like cracks, and you're like, okay, this might just end up being kind of not that bad. And then like the last 15 minutes of the movie happens, and you're just like, what?
Yeah, because it just shows a regular family of, not perfect family, like everyone's family.
Yeah, it's the de-evolution of a family dynamic. Right. Mm-hmm. And my God, does it go aggressive and mean and just straight dark and disturbing. It takes a while to get there, for sure.
Yeah.
But yeah, my overall thoughts were, this movie disturbs me. I don't think I ever want to watch it again, but I would recommend horror fans that just like things that disturb them to give it a once over.
It is very shocking.
Yeah.
It was, oh my God.
It leaves you at a loss, guys.
Like, straight up at the end, and what part I'm watching it, like, talking about, I legit, my entire face the whole time was like,
mm-hmm. And it's long.
Yeah, and it's long.
That
like,
scene
there's nothing
takes a
short.
long time.
Yeah, but it's real though.
Yeah, no, it is.
You know what I mean?
It
like,
is.
and it. Oh my God, the rawness and that's the thing. It's actual, like, how long it takes for something like that to happen. It's not like in the movies. Mm-hmm. Everything is real.
Yeah.
Movie magic real, but like still real. Like, they studied. You know what I mean? Like, how long does this happen? And like, really.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
I loved it, but like, I will never watch it again.
No, I won't either. It's a found footage movie, as we've said. It's a family. The daughter gets a camera and starts to film like everything, and you see that the father is like trying to be best dad ever. The mom is trying to support the father. The son is a typical teenage rebellious kind of kid, and things seem to be going in a positive direction with the family, and then as the girl films more and more stuff that people aren't expecting her to film, the story starts to unwind a little bit. You start to see the cracks in the family dynamic, and specifically with the father, and you see there's an underlying tension between the father and mother that definitely gets exploited and explored throughout the movie, and it's definitely an example of a slow build, but what's weird is I don't think slow builds work that well in the found footage genre, because it ultimately just comes down to like an hour of waiting before you get to the interesting
I
stuff.
don't think I disagree with that.
Okay.
I think that it built it in the right manner, in the sense that it's recording this family, it's recording the build. You're watching that build, that the cave as everything comes crushing down slowly. How it would be realistically, like why people, you know, shoot their whole family and like go off and shave their head and do these crazy things. It's a buildup of. It's
true, and I can say it was boring, but ultimately it made me feel the way it made me feel at the end, because there's this huge, you know, lead in to this just disastrous ending that just floors you, because you really it lulls you into, even though you know there's something strange going on, it still lulls you into a sense of security where like things aren't going to be that crazy, and then it just goes off the rails, and it's like, wow, this is so disturbing. And it's like, so that's the thing, it's one where the last 20% of the movie really makes up for a lot of what might be considered fallacies in the first 80%.
I think this is the most appropriate. If you've ever had a family and you've ever struggled and you've had big issues like that,
Nice and relatable. If you've ever had a family
that has
like
sort of
90%
been
of
in a
people,
bad, I'm just okay, and you've struggled. Everyone in America right now, I think would know.
No, I know.
So anyway.
It's good to have you back,
I think
Susie.
it made more relatable, you know what I mean? Like, oh my god, yeah, I get that. Like, families, so much in money and blah, blah, blah. Like...
No, I agree. I agree. So, I guess the long and short of it, we've kind of taken an extended beginning of the review here, but the story is just about, well, we tackled it. So, we know that the family devolves. The acting is all pretty well done. It is is it Aussie or is it British? Because they sound exactly the same to a lot of us.
I'll let you wonder yourself.
That's because you don't know the actual answer. Well, which is it then? Shut me up. All right. Yeah. Right. Okay. Fair enough. So anyway, there's an accent that either sounds, it's, I believe, British, but it sounds Australian at times. But that's because they're a lot interchangeable at times. But I got it right. So it is in the UK, I think. But this family is just doing their thing, and the acting is really natural. So that's at the very least, you say it's natural. It's not bad. No one excels necessarily. I feel like the dad was a little over the top at times, but ultimately, I guess it kind of fit, but it still feels a little bit much for me.
And you have a mental breakdown.
Yeah.
And you start going like this.
You start, mosh pitting by yourself. Who's gonna dance with Daddy? What? No one doing that. No. So, yeah.
Who's gonna dance with that? Like, that's the moment I knew that he was having a mental breakdown.
So yeah, the
Like,
acting is all. It's definitely it works for the movie. It definitely works for the movie. There's not a lot of gore. There's a tiny bit of effects at one point that kind of makes sense, but that's not what this movie's about. This movie is definitely more the spiraling of a family than any gore or anything like that. So that's not really a factor here. But again, I think the strongest thing we can say is that it really affected us on a emotionally disturbed level. So I have to say that the movie is effective. While I didn't necessarily like it, I don't think that the pacing was perfect, but it definitely affected me. So, I mean, what are you going to do? If that sounds like something you want to experience, then give it a try.
If I'm telling you that this movie is disturbing.
True. Yeah.
It's fucking disturbing.
Yeah, because she's got that effed up brain that you just don't want to you don't want to traipse through too often. So that's gonna do it, I think, you guys. Thank you, Ms. Marie, for requesting this. Even though we're off kilter, I the request is something we had never heard of. we had never seen before,
I think
and
this
now
is
it's something that I'm
absolute-
going to remember.
I think this is absolutely appropriate.
It's
Like,
the perfect kind of Patreon request,
Yeah.
really, because
Yeah.
we had never
This
heard
is
of
what
it,
we hoped for.
and it's going to stick with us, for better or for worse. It's going to
It's
stick
going to
with
be
us.
one I bring up a lot, that's for
There
sure.
you go. Yeah, people are like, "What's a messed up movie? Have you seen Exhibit A?"
Bitch, let me
Yeah.
tell you.
Yeah, there'll be a lot of that. So yes, thank you very much, Ms. Marie, for requesting it. If you guys want to become a patron yourself, the link is in the description box down below. If you know of a movie like this, or a out there movie that maybe we haven't heard of, this is the perfect way to get us to watch it. And you may get just as flummoxed a reaction as Ms. Marie did for this one. So thank you guys very much for watching. Until next time, I've been Cecil Laird.
I'm Susie Von Slaughter.
And remember, stay scared.